This content is for educational purposes only. What you do with this information is at your own risk. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. For those of you that saw my post yesterday about the Game Boy Online app, that you can add Game Boy Color titles, which I didn't know, I asked y'all if y'all were interested in me making a pack on that. And you said yes, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go ahead and check it out, and I'm going to explain to y'all the good things and the bad things, and hopefully things that we can um, do about it. So let's go ahead and check out the app first, and I'll show you what we got so far. All right, so starting from top to bottom, we're going to scroll through these titles that I've added so far and talk about it. So with the Game Boy Color, this is the same app, Game Boy Online, but I've only made a pack with the Game Boy Color. And I'll talk about it as we go along with this video, why I did it this way. But with the Game Boy Color, there is about 90 plus titles to 100 from what I see on the software. And I didn't add any regular Game Boys, but it does come with the stock 12 titles that the app comes with automatically. So you have those. And there you go. Everything's working just fine. You can pause, rewind, and stuff like that. Now, I know a lot of y'all are asking me for a list. So we'll go down the line of some of these questions. You're asking me for a list, and I don't have a list. I guess I could make one. It's just that it takes a long time for this setup to get work. I do a lot of testing, finding the box art and stuff like that. I already have a setup, so it's a little bit faster, but the whole trying it out first, failing, then adding a different one and stuff like that. It's a process. But as far as the list goes, I've mentioned that I just Google. I Google Game Boy Color games or best Game Boy Color games, and whatever the first link Google gives me is the list that I do. If I can and have time for it, which I should later on, but I could make a list for the future people that watch this of what I have. But it's a good thing that I want to talk about a list with you guys because of the issues that I'm having now. So I'm going to leave a message somewhere on the screen. This is where I'm going to talk about the problems that we're having. And if you want to fast forward to the packs or to where we decide what we want as far as this video goes. But for now, we got to talk about these problems because I want to do this good for you guys as a community, and we're going to have to come to an agreement with something. So I was asked by you guys also that what are the options going to be? I said that there's going to be a pack for just regular Game Boy and a pack for Game Boy Color. And several of y'all asked me, why not both? And I don't have a problem with both. But if y'all remember that I told y'all the more titles you add, the more problems we're going to have. So with that being said, that's exactly what happened to me. I made a pack for you guys with 100 titles of Game Boy and 100 titles of Game Boy Color, and everything boots up fine, but you cannot play any titles. It crashes. So now what I have to do is make one or the other. However, I don't believe that it would be a problem to mix them both. This is where we have to come together as a community and pick the best options you have, because I believe you can have both Game Boy and Game Boy Color. However, with my list, there's probably a lot of titles that people won't even play. So I'm just adding them because I just Googled it. But I'm sure that there's titles that people won't play. So if we can have like a collective amount of titles, that still works. And I'm going to try it. I don't know what the threshold is. So far, having 200 titles is maxed. It's over the limit. So what I was thinking that if I can do a generated list, or maybe a spreadsheet, I don't know. If anybody has a good idea for a list style where we can choose the best ones to add to a pack. And I know there's several different people that have different options. And this is going to be a hard one, but if we can make a list where it could be, I don't know, maybe 150. I'm going to try it. I'm going to start deleting from my 200 pack and trying one by one. So 200 or 199, 100. And if it's like 150 where games are playable, then I can probably update y'all with what we can do. But as far as today goes, there's going to be a pack for just Game Boy Color. And you're going to have to interchange these two packs because it's the same title ID. And if you want to play Game Boy Color pack that I made, you just put that one on your SD card. And if you want to play Game Boy Color, you take out that pack, delete it, and put in this pack, which I'll be showing right now as we go along. So that'll be up to y'all. Y'all have to let me know what we can do about it, because I think it's possible still to make one like ultimate pack, I guess you can say. I'll probably put it as that, the Game Boy Ultimate Pack or Community Pack. I think that sounds pretty good. Okay, so I'm done rambling on, and let's go ahead and download this one zip file, add it to our SD card so we can have some Game Boy Color games. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is open up our SD card and have it ready for file transfer. Now, it really doesn't matter how you open up your SD card. Some ways might be better than others, but the reason why I'm saying this is because on this video, I am using an FTP server using the DBI installer app. Lets me transfer my files wirelessly, which is a little bit slower than USB, but I can skip ahead on this video so you won't have to wait for that. And it doesn't bother me to use Wi-Fi. The app does have an MTP options where you can use your USB, but that's neither here or there. That's for another video if anybody's interested on knowing about it. I think it's really cool, and I wouldn't mind showing you on how it works on that set. But back on this video, if you have your SD card open, you also need to make sure that you have custom firmware already set up on your Switch in order for this to work. Now, I'm not sure if it's still real or not, but I believe you need to have the latest version of both custom firmware and Switch firmware in order for this to work as well. So don't quote me on it, but in case if yours is not working, maybe you need to update. And at the time of this video, right now the current custom firmware is Atmosphere 1.4.1 and Switch firmware 15.0.1. So I'll probably put it on the screen somewhere, so just in case I'm wrong, and let you know on that end. But once you have everything set up, your SD card, custom firmware, all that good stuff, now we can download this one file for today. If you look in the description down below, there's going to be several links. One of them should say download the Game Boy Color online pack here. Once you click on that link, and it'll take you to the page where you can start the download process. After that, you can have it dragged to the desktop like I have done already. Now, we can use our zipping software to extract these files. I like to use 7-zip, and if you want to follow along with me, I'll leave a link in the description to 7-zip. You can download it for yourself and then follow along. But with 7-zip, I'm going to open the archive, and I'm going to extract this one file that we need, or folder, and I'm going to put it on the desktop. You can put it wherever you want. I just have it on the desktop because I have a lot more space. But with this one folder open, we can open it up and see what's inside. Now, this is where I tell y'all on all my other videos. It might be a catchphrase now, but for those of you that know, or those of you that don't know, everything that you need is on my pack. So anything that's relevant to what I'm trying to do on this video. So it might not have everything, but for the relevance of this video, everything you need is on this pack. So it's got my pack and it's got everything else. So I can't really say it because I get taken down and all this dumb stuff, but everything you need is here. And of course, I can show you the atmosphere. I already have it set up in the directory where it'll go to where it needs to be. And here's the title ID folder that contains the pack, and it's for the Game Boy Online app. But we can go back. All we need to do is highlight this one folder, and we're going to want to drop it into the root of your SD card, not in a folder. So let's highlight it and then drag it to somewhere in the SD card, and that can just drop it in. Now, you may notice that when it does the file transfer, it might say that it has these mini files with these mini names, with the same names. You can just go ahead and replace the files and it should work just fine. If you already had the Game Boy thing. And talking about it, you might have to uh, do this constantly if you're going to be switching from Game Boy regular and Game Boy Color. But I'll catch up to y'all when this is fully transferred. Okay, so yours might look a little bit more different, but if you have anything that says you already have stuff with the same name, just say yes to all. Let it transfer over. Okay, so after you're done transferring your files to your SD card, you can now eject out of your SD card and go back into custom former. Oh, sorry, my switch is already on. Normally I turn off my switch, so if you have your SD card out of your switch, or if you're in Hecate, you're going to want to eject your SD card and go back into custom former. However, we're done here with the SD card, and now we can go ahead and test it out. So I'm going to get out of my SD card, and we're going to try it on the Switch. Okay, so back at the Switch home menu, I already have my app installed, but unfortunately I can't show you how to install it, nor can I show you where to find it. That's what I was talking about a little bit before we got back here, of things that I can't show you, can't do, but just to remind you that everything you need is in my packs. So you should be good to set up pertaining to this video on what we need. So let's go ahead and check it out, see if we have Game Boy Color now and if it works. Okay, so back at the Switch home menu, after everything is done, you should be able to go into your Game Boy Online app and see all the Game Boy Color titles that I added in this pack. All right, so let me go back up and down. There's a bunch of Game Boy Colors. And there we go. Every time I make a pack, it always is different. See here, the regular Game Boys that the app comes with are kind of separate. But there you go. Now we have Game Boy Color, and everything seems to be working just fine. It's just like my other videos, we try something out. I know y'all would probably like to see a better title, but sometimes I can't really play anything without getting in trouble. So let's see how it sounds. Here we go, guys. Everything's working just fine. Did I just die? Wow. Okay, so that one works. Just showing y'all, you can hold down the rewind and see my fail that I didn't really fail. See? Everything is fine. Okay, does this work the same way like the other one? I guess nope. No. Okay, so instead of seeing me die again there, let's try one more title. Oh wow. Wait, we can also rewind that too, and there you go. Like it never happened. There you go, guys. Everything seems to be working just fine for me. Oh wow. But that's pretty much it, guys. Everything is working fine on my end. Hopefully you can hear me with all this sound. Let me lower it back down. But that's it, guys. I hope everything works out for you. Let me know if it doesn't. I'll try and help you out as best I can. But of course, guys, if there's something that you want to add, that you want me to add, that you do not see in this list, you can ask me and I will add it in the community tab. I'll make a brand new one for you guys. And if you want to be able to message about this, just to keep things organized, there is a community tab. If you go into youtube.com/eradicatinglove, you'll see my page here that has my profile, and you can scroll to the side of the tabs and you'll see here under community. You can click that, and here is where I post things to try and keep things organized. If you want me to add something to one of these packs, I can add it for you, then I'll update the links as they come along. But I'll most likely post another post about this stuff, and you can let me know if you want me to add anything, you're having troubles. I'll try and help you as best as I can. The reason why I do this here is to keep it organized, guys. And also with my notifications, when it comes to a video, my notifications are all mixed with my other videos. When it comes to the community tab, they are separated. So it's easier to see your messages here. But this is how you do it. Eradicating love. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. If it works for you, let me know. If it doesn't work for you, let me know. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me, and I love you guys. Thank you very much for sticking with me and waiting and being patient. So I really appreciate it. Those of y'all that are helping me, those of y'all helping the community, really nice. That being said, I will try and figure out a way on how to make this community pack. Maybe there is a way to have both of these packs in one. So let's talk about it. We'll figure it out. And I'll think about how I can fix that for us. But until then, guys, this is the Game Boy Color, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.